I'll just ask for adoption of the agenda. Is there any additions or anything from staff?
No.
No? Okay. Nothing from the board. Anyone got anything? Not seeing any or hearing anybody bring anything up. Could I ask someone to adopt the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Thanks, Mayor Burrows. John's got a motion on the table to adopt the agenda. All in favor? Deanna?
Aye.
Ron?
In favor.
John?
In favor.
And Tracy?
In favor.
Perfect, that's carried. So we'll move on to adoption of the minutes. Anyone see any errors or omissions in there? And if not, would someone like to move the minutes as presented?
I can make that motion, Mr. Chair, to move the minutes as presented.
Fair enough. Deanna's got a motion on the floor to accept the minutes as circulated. All in favor? Deanna?
Aye.
Ron?
In favor.
John?
In favor.
Tracy?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. That's carried. So we'll move right on to development application. Where the heck are we at here? The first one. 15046 2021 intensive recreational use. Joan, you want to take that one away?
Sure. The applicant had indicated last week when I was on site that they'd be in attendance. However, they are not here. But I'll go through the report. So the parcel consists of 160 acres. It's located on northwest of 262-8, so just north of Goose Lake. The application is for an intensive recreational use. So Nature Alive Adventures is their business name, and they do nature outdoor courses, survival training. They would like to have 2 rental cabins and limited camping, or rustic camping if you want to call it that, roughly 6 sites. And then they're developing some nature walking trails on the property itself. So the existing cabin or residence that's on there will be for the applicant's use. There will be the 2 rental cabins that they're applying for. Those uses, that's where the intensive recreational definition comes into play. The rest of what they're proposing, and there's also an existing barn that they're converting into a training facility in the event that when there's rainy days or snowy days, they can actually do some training within that existing barn structure. So the extensive recreational use kind of plays into this as well as that non-facility orientated, and that would be, I guess, the rustic campsites as well as the nature trails themselves. They did indicate it'll be foot traffic only. They do snowshoeing, nature walks, plant identification, and almost like guiding. They do a lot of things like canoeing. They have different events that they actually, Woodlands County has, I didn't realize this until I was out there, have hired these individuals to do some programming out at Hard Luck Canyon. So they've done some nature things out at the Hard Luck Canyon for us. They've done canoeing out at the Blue Ridge Rec area. So they're quite involved with Woodlands County and different activities throughout the recreation activities throughout the municipality. So it is a discretionary use, indicated as for the intensive recreational use. I've put the definitions of both intensive and extensive. I've put in the definition of cabin as well, which the 2 that they're proposing does meet. The application was referred to our infrastructure department, who noted that the parcel is currently accessed by a DLO license through public lands, which Alberta Environment had indicated or requested the county to take that DLO over. However, the county will not be pursuing that and would like to pursue it to our design guidelines and construction standards because there is no actual access to the actual quarter section that this is located on. An approach has never been developed. So the county would construct that approach at our expense, and then they would be responsible for driveway access. We have recommended to the applicant that they try to pursue that DLO application so that they can utilize the existing access that's currently there. The application was also referred to Alberta Health Services. No response was received. Yeah, and again, it was referred to Alberta Environment and Parks, who also indicated with respect to the DLO and any of the uses that they're proposing to do must be kept within the boundaries of their property. If it becomes a highly used commercial operation and they want to use public lands, then they would have to make application for such uses through the Crown, of course. Section 22, notice of the proposed development. It was advertised as a discretionary use in the local newspaper. Letters were sent to adjacent landowners as well. We did receive 2 letters of concern and they are attached. Essentially just citing users need to be mindful and stay on their own property. I did have 2 phone inquiries with respect to the use and the access itself. Both were going to reach out to the applicant to review their website for more information, and they subsequently didn't call back, so I believe they got what they were looking for. I put in section 47, which just speaks with respect to campgrounds and regulations in our land use bylaw. Section 99, it is an agricultural 2 parcel, and as indicated, the proposal as an intensive recreational use is discretionary. The municipal development plan does indicate there is a goal of the counties to promote and accommodate recreation and tourism land uses in appropriate locations, and proposals should minimize conflicts with existing and proposed future land uses. Having met the people on site, it's not a high intense use. Like I say, they're looking to have small groups come to the property, stay over, learn snowshoeing. They'll take them to whether it be Shoein or Goose Lake or to the Blue Ridge Rec area to learn canoeing. They mentioned plant identification. Their hope is to, if it goes well, to perhaps have 4 to 1 school children come out as a group to enjoy the property and again to learn things about the nature. So I'm just recommending to the Municipal Planning Commission to approve development application 1546-2021 for the intensive recreational use, nature alive adventures, nature outdoor courses, survival training, which includes 2 rental cabins, limited camping, 6 unserviced sites, and nature trails with the following conditions. And the applicant does have those conditions as we spoke with them on site.
Okay, are there any questions from the board members?
And actually, the applicant is just showing up, so if you have any questions to the applicant, yeah, come on, you can just grab the hot seat up front here.
Oh, Stu? Okay.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you.
If you
So,
don't mind signing
Joan,
in as well.
Yes,
I had one question, Joan.
yeah.
On that access,
Mhm.
you said that the county's gonna put the access in the road approach because there never was one put in?
That's correct. So if there's a quarter section that has 0 access to it, our design guidelines and construction standards or policy does indicate that the county will provide 1 access to it or 1 approach. So because there was
Okay.
never, and my understanding is that road, is it Range Road 80, was extended several years ago, but probably previous to when this DLO, or sorry, after this, the DLO would have been established and then the county would have developed that road further to the north. So Mr. Morrison, the previous landowner, was utilizing that DLO as access. So there was never an approach constructed or private driveway constructed.
Okay, so who's responsible for maintenance on that road then?
On the DLO,
Yeah,
okay, if the applicant is able to obtain that DLO, that would be up to the landowner, so, or the DLO holder.
okay, so are we gonna hold off until they find out if they can get that before we decide where we're putting an approach? Because it doesn't make sense to put an approach there and then find out you can't use that road.
Yes, Mr. Bashand, our infrastructure director, was on site with myself, and that was his indication, is that we would wait to ensure that the applicants were able to obtain that DLO before we entertained putting an approach, to ensure that we got the proper location or whatever may need to be pursued there.
Okay, are there any other questions from any of the board members?
I've got one, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayor Burrows.
Just this, with regard to the letter from the neighbor here who mentions he does some shooting. So is there anything in the conditions about marking the bound? The only thing I'm concerned about is if you're doing orienteering or anything like that, and a group gets off the property or onto somewhere they shouldn't be and walks into somebody else's property where they're shooting. Is there? Can you give me an idea of what your business plan is to kind of keep that from happening, or?
Yeah, we wrote that. After I just read that.
Our property is fenced and his property is very well marked.
Okay.
So they would have to climb over a barbed wire fence that
Oh.
says no trespassing, keep out.
Okay, that's pretty clear in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So you have a fenced section, or a corner, I mean. So with the boundaries fenced
Yes.
on all sides
Yeah.
with barb. That's satisfactory to me.
Yep. That's my only question.
Yeah, because I think like if you crawl over the barbed wire fence, that's on you.
Yeah, that would be intentional. Not
Very
accidental,
intentional.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wrote in here too, all property lines, trails, fence lines will be clearly marked to ensure that clients don't enter private property other than the Kislaks at any times. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have any other questions. Are there any other ones from the board? I think a lot of the concerns were kind of answered here once I went through this thing. When I read the thing about the foot traffic only and no motorized vehicles, I know that's been a concern with the people up in that area. They want to try to keep it as quiet as they can, and I guess I can see where they're coming from. That's kind of what some of the letters of concern were for that. But I think I really don't see any big issues with this one. And if there's any expansion that has to be done, it has to come back to the board again. So I think for what they're doing right now, I really don't have any issues with this. I guess the road access is the only one that they'll have to take care of that. But in saying such, I'm just wondering if anyone else have any concerns, and if not, would someone like to make a motion that we accept this permit with conditions?
Mr. Chair, I'd be happy to go with the recommended action of approving development permit 15-046-2021 for an intensive recreational use, nature alive adventures, nature outdoor courses, survival training, 2 rental cabins, limited camping, 6 unserviced sites, and nature trails with the following conditions.
Fair enough. Motion on the floor from Mayor Burrows. All in favor? Deanna?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Ron? Okay, Ron? Hello, Ron?
Yeah, we're good.
Good, thank you. John?
In favor.
Tracy?
I'm in favor.
And I'm in favor. So, Joan, you can let the folks know they're sitting there, they're listening in, they're basically in business. Once they get the road issue sorted out, they can get after this then.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Climactic, eh?
Yeah.
So it will be a policy decision. It'll come in. I'll get it from the commission. Pretty much what I.
Okay. You ready to move on there, guys?
You betcha.
Okay, good enough. Okay, we'll go on to development permit application 15-50/2021 Garden Suite. Joan, you want to take that one too?
You betcha. Okay, the applicant owns a 10.97 acre parcel. It's within Westridge Acres here, just west of Whitecourt. So part of Southwest 85911, Plan 7520786, Block 1, Lot 2. It is for a garden suite manufactured home for the landowner's daughter in particular. So it does meet the requirements of a garden suite. We do have the signed affidavits from both parties. Essentially, it's been brought to the Municipal Planning Commission because it is a discretionary use in the country residential district. And essentially, Section 75 of the Land Use Bylaw just outlines garden suites and some requirements for the Development Authority to consider is that it shall not approve unless it's in the opinion to be satisfied the use is suitable, harmonious, and compatible with the existing residential parcels in the area. This particular parcel is very well treed and it sits back kind of in its own little pocket there. You can't see it from the road. The garden suite can be sited on a suitable site, meet setback requirements, and properly connected to services. There had been an existing garden suite from several years ago that has been subsequently removed, so the services were already existing on this piece. The development permit application was advertised for 2 weeks, as well as letters were provided to adjacent landowners. The application was referred to Woodlands Infrastructure Department, who has no concerns with the access or the garden suite use. The application was also referred to the town of Whitecourt, as it's within the intermunicipal development plan area, and the town of Whitecourt again voiced no concerns with the application. So I'm just recommending approval with conditions. The applicant is not in attendance this evening.
Okay, fair enough. Are there any questions from any of the board members? This one looks pretty straightforward. Seeing none, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, Dale, it's Tracy, that we accept this application. I think it's 15-050-21
Yeah,
with
fair enough.
with the recommended actions.
With the conditions? Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, Tracy's got a motion on the floor that we accept this application. All in favor? Deanna?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Good. Ron?
In favor.
John?
In favor.
Tracy?
In favor.
And I'm in favor of that one. So that one's carried. If you want to let the folks know about that one.
You betcha. Thank you.
We want to hear development permit 15-52/2021. Farm subsidiary. That's a tough one. Retail storefront. Joan, you want to take that one there?
You betcha. And the applicant is in attendance here this evening. So the parcel consists of 160 acres. Legal location is southeast 245610, west of the 5th. It is for a farm subsidiary operation, retail storefront. It's located in an existing accessory structure on the farm site. And it's to sell products produced on the farm, such as your meat, eggs, fresh veggies, and they also have some other vendor homemade products that they sell. It is a discretionary use. I'll put the definitions in of discretionary use, the farm subsidiary operation. We did refer it to our infrastructure as well as Lac-Saint-Anne Infrastructure Department. Range Road 100 is on the boundary. It is under the authority of Lac-Saint-Anne County, but they did respond and they don't have any concerns with respect to it. And our infrastructure department, of course, had no concerns either. Again, it is discretionary use, and the decision needs to be made by the Municipal Planning Commission. It was advertised as a discretionary use in the local newspapers. Letters were also sent to adjacent landowners. We received no letters of concern from either the advertising or the letters sent. Again, it is zoned agricultural 1, so it's a discretionary use. In our municipal development plan, the development of better agricultural land for non-agricultural purposes shall be limited to farm accessory uses and farm home occupations. So it definitely fits within our planning documents as to what they've got out there. So just recommending that the Municipal Planning Commission approve development permit 1552/2021 for the farm subsidiary operation, retail storefront, and with the conditions. And the applicant, as I noted, are in attendance if you have any questions.
Okay, fair enough. Are there any questions from any members of the board?
Mr. Chair, I don't hear any questions, so and we can do it after the motion's put on anyway, so I'll make a motion that we go with recommended action and approve development permit 15-052-2021 for a farm subsidiary operation retail storefront with the conditions.
Perfect. That's what we want to hear. Actually, anytime you can make a buck off the farm without having to go through the government or anybody else, set up the standard. They're on you. So anyway, motion on the floor to accept with the conditions. All in favor? Deanna?
Yes, I accept or agree.
Good. Good. Ron?
In favor?
Thank you. John?
In favor.
Tracy?
In favor.
I'm in favor of that one too. So that one's carried. You can let the folks know there if they have any questions, Joan, you'll sort them out with that.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Come shopping.
Sign up for voluntary business, what is it called? Business registry? So we got you on the
Yeah.
thing. We can advertise you and stuff.
I think Bert's been harassing them quite a bit.
Has he?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we ready to go with the next one there, folks?
You betcha.
Okay, subdivision application 2021 sub 07. Joan, you can take that one.
You betcha. Okay, and the applicant is here as well as the family. So we have a proposal for two 15-acre agricultural small holding parcels from a 158-acre parcel, which is located on the southwest of 5912. This is in the West Mountain area. So under the land use bylaw, an agricultural small holding parcel means a parcel generally less than 16 hectares in size with or without a dwelling and accessory buildings and uses, which is used for agricultural pursuits. As we all know, the Baxters are a farm family, so it fits within that. It is zoned agricultural 2 district, so the proposed parcels do conform to the requirements of subsections 3C, 5A, and C, in that it meets the density requirements. It does max the density out, as well as the parcel sizes fit as far as the small ag holding parcel sizes go. Municipal reserve collection will be required on one of the 15-acre parcels. So an appraisal of the parcel as a vacant parcel will be required to determine cash in lieu to be paid, less any environmental reserve that will be taken. So the county may require dedication of ER land during subdivision, not less than 6 meters in width, abutting the bed and shore of any water body, wetland, land slope, or land subject to flooding. An agreement would be entered into for an easement versus taking land. So in this case, what had been suggested by Alberta Environment Parks when we referred to them, they indicated either or environmental reserve and or putting development setbacks in. I did attend the property. We had a look at the areas, or a couple of the areas where the creek runs through. It's not a significant water course, so just recommending Perhaps the 6-meter ER would be sufficient. The Baxters were in favor of that. The municipal development plan outlines a little better what a agricultural smallholding parcel is, which essentially states they shall have a minimum size of about 12.35 acres, and then again the maximum of 39.54 acres. So the 2 parcels proposed does meet that. As far as road access goes, we have to ensure that each parcel has got its own access, which in this case both parcels do. And our referral to our infrastructure department, they indicated that all the approaches do meet county requirements. The design guidelines and construction standards for requirements for water table, soil classification, and groundwater availability tests. There are existing septic systems on the proposed parcels that will require inspection. The Baxters have already completed that condition, and we did get approvals from, what is it, Superior?
Yes.
Yeah, from Superior Safety Codes with respect to the existing septic systems, so they do meet. There is also an existing septic system on the remainder, however, it's well over the 300 feet from the new proposed property lines. So we didn't require an inspection on that. Water table, storm water, again, it's not a requirement because the proposed parcels, they're over the 10 acres in size. Water availability, there's already existing wells there, and it's not over the 5 parcels per quarter section. We referred it out to various agencies as well as the adjacent landowners. We didn't receive any inquiries from adjacent landowners. We didn't receive any objections from any of the referral agencies that we sent out. As noted previously, Alberta Environment Parks comments suggested that an ER be taken on all the parcels or a development setback be placed on the land files to ensure protection. Town comments, because it is in the intermunicipal development plan area. Whitecourt is supportive of the subdivision. Town feels the lots are too large for residential parcels in an A2 district, and that the 6-hectare parcels proposed are incompatible with agricultural use, which the IDP seeks to preserve. The municipal and environmental reserves, so under section 666, 663, 666, and 667 of the Municipal Government Act state that municipal reserves would be required in one of the proposed lots based on a market value appraisal. First parcels out are exempt. Both land or monies can be taken as MRs. So in this case, as mentioned, we are looking at doing a 6-meter strip along the existing creek areas on the parcel. And the ERE must require that the land remain in its natural state and may be enforced by the municipality. As noted by the Baxters, they do have a couple areas, or a few areas in which they have crossings through that area, and those can be noted within that ERE document. And again, this document does not restrict animals coming to and fro. Pretty hard to do that. It's just a matter that no vegetation should be removed, or you know, if there's some deadfall within it, the municipality generally gives landowners the A-OK to go ahead and remove any of that as well. So I'm just recommending to the Municipal Planning Commission that the subdivision be approved for the 2 15-acre parcels with the following conditions. And I don't know if you need me to read them. The Baxters do have a copy of them. And, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll open it up to the floor if there's any questions or any concerns or anything. It sounds like the doctors have their ducks in a row there. They've already got a few of the things looked after, so with septic systems and whatnot. Are there any questions from any members of the board? Ron, go ahead. I see you get your hand up.
Well, Dale, the indication that Joan's providing is that the Baxters have agreed to these environmental reserve conditions. there, and so, I guess we're gonna live with it. And I'll move that subdivision application 2021 sub 07 with the conditions as provided be approved.
Fair enough. We have a motion on the floor to accept the subdivision with conditions. I'll call the vote. All in favor, Deanna,
Yes, I agree.
Ron,
Yeah,
John,
In favor.
Tracy?
In favor.
I'm in favor of that one. That one's carried. So, you can let John and Mabel know that they're in business over there, Joan.
Awesome, thank you. Good to go.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming, Brenda.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care. We'll chat soon.
You Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that leaves us with, just the information items. Any questions or anything on, there was only one or two on there. And if not, would someone like to move those for information, I guess?
Dale,
I can
I'll
make-
move the information items for information.
Fair enough. Ron's got a motion on the floor to accept information items as information. All in favor, Deanna?
In favor?
Thank you. Ron?
Favor.
John?
In favor.
Tracy?
In favor.
And I'm in favor of that too, so that wraps that up. I guess all we got left, next meeting, any idea when we'll be there, ladies?
September 17th? 15th, sorry. We've got,
September
a
5th.
garden suite and something else.
Okay, fair enough. We can write that one down. So I guess the last thing left is, motion to adjourn.
You want to introduce Peter?
Oh, just, sorry, Dale, if I could introduce,
Yeah, go
Peter
ahead.
to, Tracy and Deanna.
Oh,
Council
yeah.
met him the other day. But yeah, this is Peter McKay. He's our new development officer. He started with us on August 11th, after Jennifer, went to MD Greenview.
Tonight he's our tech expert.
And he's our tech expert. Yeah, he's tech savvy, so we're loving him.
Perfect.
I look forward to meeting you in person, Peter.
Yes, thank you. Me too.
That's all we got.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Now
Mr.
I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair,
I'll make,
Oops.
Everybody's jumping at it.
Go ahead, John. John's
I'll
got
make
it.
the motion to
John-
adjourn. I
John-
was just trying to speed it along here, so.
Yeah, fair enough. All in favor, Deanna?
In favor.
Thank you. Ron?
In favor?
John?
In favor.
Tracy?
in favor.
And I'm in favor of that. That's a wrap. How's the weather down in California, Tracy?
Oh, pretty hot, pretty hot.
Keep it there.
You
Have a good
betcha.
evening, everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.